Yeah, my name's Lucas. I'm not a total random. I played baseball for about 12 years or so. I was a left-hand pitcher, so I had plenty of different injuries with my elbow and shoulder. So now I'm a physiotherapist and I work in the Geelong area. So I guess my passion towards my work is that I've grown up playing a sport that I loved, and you guys all play as well, and knew a lot of injuries, and not too many physios were able to help me the way that I, felt I needed. So especially being a smaller sport, not the same as cricket, which a lot of people understand better, but not the pitching motion. So yeah, that's a bit of a background on me and why I came into this area. So I played for the Mariners. So yeah, might be a bit of a rivalry there, but played for Springvale back in the day. So yeah, but first of all, I just want to ask, anyone put their hand up if they've had like an elbow or a shoulder injury at any point, or just soreness in their career? Yeah. Keep your hand up if you've currently got some soreness, or this year you've had some soreness in your shoulder or your elbow. Yeah. So I think like 90% maybe, or 95. And now keep your arm up if you want to maybe get rid of that arm soreness and, not be throwing with pain for the rest of your career. So a few hands there. So that's I guess, where I come in. Drew here does like a routine with some bands and different things before they pitch, or fair few, but not as many as the arms are up before, maybe half. Okay. So what I'll do here is I'll just explain a couple little boring things about injuries to your arm and why they happen. And then we'll go through a routine, so a little like a program that you can do beforehand. And then I'll send it to you guys after, or through Angela, and she can spread it out across where there's some exercises you can just follow and do, ideally every time you throw. So trainings and games as well. All right. If you have any questions, maybe ask at the end. So any questions, just let me know. Put your hand up towards the end, or come grab me if you don't want to ask in person in front of everyone. So I guess there's a few things in terms of like what are some early warning signs for, injuries that might be coming up or soreness in your arm. Things to be careful of is if you're getting pain in your elbow or your arm, anywhere in general that's maybe out of increased or higher than a 4 out of 10, and it's quite a sharp pain. Common sites you might get that is the inside of your elbow, through your bicep, or through the front of the elbow, front of the arm, or the back of the arm as well. So those types of things are not particularly normal to have for a long period of time. So if it's a one-off, that's okay. But if you're having this for weeks, months, and it just becomes your normal, then it's something you should definitely be getting looked at by a physio. Another thing is if your arm is quite stiff and sore the day after you throw, like you wake up, it's really sore and achy, and it takes a while to sort of warm up the next day, that might indicate that you've potentially done something that it's not happy about. Has anyone ever had like their arm feel pretty sore when they lift it overhead, or like above this level here through the front of their shoulder, like it hurts? It's okay here and then it goes, ow. Yeah, so a fair few of you. So that indicates that the shoulder's, not happy with you for one reason or another. And even like gripping objects, anyone felt pain with that? Just like gripping the bat, or that can be the elbow, pretty common indication. Another thing here is like if you've had a drop in velocity, you may not have guns necessarily, but you notice you're not throwing as hard, your coach tells you, and it's prolonged for a period of time. Maybe you can't throw as far in your long toss, or maybe you're not as accurate as normal. That has to be over a period of time. Some people aren't accurate, so we can't blame it on injury all the time. And then in terms of what might increase your risk of injury, 3 sort of main things here. It'd be like if you're throwing through pain consistently, she'll be right, just pushing through the pain. She won't be right, most likely, and it'll usually end up in something worse down the track. Maybe when you hit, into your seniors career. But yeah, not ideal to be doing. Another interesting thing is throwing year round, maybe for the parents, but there's a high risk of throwing competitively year round. I know you all play winter and summer ball, so it is important to have breaks, where you're not necessarily pitching or throwing at 100% throughout the season. So you're sort of timing your runs for competitions or, finals, things like that, whereas not just trying to throw 100% every month of the year. Super important. And then just throwing too much. You got pitch counts, but if you're trying to throw 6-7 times a week long toss, then it's just not smart. So you need to be smart about when you're throwing, how much you're throwing, and the intensity as well. So there's three main things that you're really looking for to prevent injuries. Does anyone have any guesses on what sort of things they might be? Yeah, rest. Yeah, that's part of it for sure. Yeah. Yeah, warm up and cool down. Absolutely. That's probably two of the main ones there. Recovery. Yeah, that sort of blends into what I'll be talking about, but absolutely. Yeah. Having a good routine. Yeah, like your arm care and all that. Absolutely. What I've got. So load management is super important. Does that ring a bell to anyone? Or so managing how much you're throwing, resting where it's important to, not resting and doing nothing in other instances as well. So having a good sort of understanding on load. So number two, strength training. How many people here do some form of strength training? Yeah, fair few. Yeah, not everyone. So strength training isn't just like smashing dumbbells, getting your biceps as big as possible, all right, or doing heavy squats. But for the younger crew, like you want to be doing body weight exercises, squats, jumping, getting really powerful through your legs, so you're not relying on your arm to do everything. And then for the older guys, then you are looking at some more feeding in some weighted exercises, explosive movements, this sort of stuff. And then the last one is arm care. So having a good routine, warm up, cool down, doing things that's going to strengthen the muscles that prevent injuries in your arm. Okay. So has anyone got any questions around any of that there, or all makes sense? Cool. So I guess the common sort of injuries that you could get for throwing related things is more in your shoulder and your elbow. What you can get in your shoulder, there's things called little league shoulder or little league elbow, and that's where there's injuries to the bones, okay? Because when you're growing, your bones, or when you're young, your bones are growing. So if you're doing a lot of throwing, it can impact the bones as well, and the same in your elbow. And then you could have muscles that can tear as well, all right? But I wouldn't be caught up too much in that. The main thing here is that we go through like a proper routine. So if everyone's got their bands, we might hop up and rather than me just talking to you, we'll do some banded exercises. They've left some stuff up there. That's all right. Who's got a band here? Just hold it up. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No bands here for the older guys. That's all right. Cool. Well, do we have any, are these our bats or are these other people's our stuff? All right. Everyone who's got a bat, can you grab a bat for me? Because you're actually going to do some stuff with that as well. I might grab a bat from someone, if that's all right. I'll give it back in a moment. Has anyone heard of an isometric exercise? Oh, that's pretty good. So first thing that we're going to run through, like I said, I'll give you guys like a video so you can watch all this stuff again. But it's important that you do all this correctly and not just like smash through it. Really do it with some emphasis. Isometrics is really good for basically warming up the muscles and tendons that prevent elbow injuries, okay? So this one's for your elbows. So what you're going to do is hold your bat. If you're right, do this in your throwing arm, obviously. You're going to hold the bat like this. Don't go all the way down, and then you're going to push the bat handle. So basically you're lifting the bat head up, but you're pushing down and just holding there, okay? And your muscles will start to shake. So everyone's elbow should be tucked into their torso that's got a bat, all right? And the bat's pulling you down, and you're lifting it up into your hand, all right? So give that a try. So pushing it up. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone tuck your elbows in. Yeah. You should feel it through there again. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very nice. Yeah, this one's going to be up the front here. Yeah, okay. That'll help with this one. Yeah, and pushing up will help. What's that? Pushing up like that, the other way, towards your face. Yeah. And the back, you got to hold your hand where my hand is. Yeah, and pushing up. Yeah. All right. All right. That's it for the ones with your bats, okay? So you hold each of those for 20 seconds, all right? And you can all feel that in your forearm muscles. Yep. Yeah, cool. So, all right, drop your bats down and grab a band if you've got one, all right? Or otherwise you'll all sort of share. All right, everyone looking at me. All right, I imagine a lot of you have done this. So now we're going to do the forearm through here, and you're basically going to be pulling up, all right? Pulling up, yeah. So your palms down, and you're just lifting your fist up, okay? Elbows relaxed, pulling up. Yeah, yeah. And then this way. You guys can share with that one. Give it a go with that. All right? Yep. But I want you to rest your elbow. Don't bend. Just your wrist. Only your wrist moves. Yeah. But you'd have your hand like that, ideally. So yeah, it's got to tighten it up. So I'll grab, actually I'll use my one here. So basically what we're going to start with, has anyone done the shoulder exercises with the bands, that sort of stuff? Rings a bell? Yeah. So a lot of people do it really fast, like are repping out really fast. I want you to actually do it slow and controlled. And I'll show you where you want to feel it in the muscles. So the first ones I want you doing is where you're basically pulling the band outwards, okay? And a lot of people do this fast, but you want to do it slow and controlled. And you're going to feel it in the back of your armpit, all right? That's where you want to get it. So if you guys want to come a bit closer, got to do it against the wall, the neck here. So you're going to stand here and you're going to be pulling outwards, okay? So your arms at a right angle and then you're just rotating outwards like so, yeah? So you want to keep your elbow tucked in, yeah. And then you just come to here and then bring it back a bit. Yeah. And you rotate out to here. And you should sort of feel it in the back of your armpit. Yeah?
I'm feeling it up the top.
Up the top. So if you lift your shoulder up a bit more and then rotate out here, elbow tucked in. Yeah.
It's still at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work with it. It'll, sometimes you need a lighter band for it. Yeah, that's good. And your elbow should be a right angle. So down here. Yeah. Yeah. How's that?
Yeah.
How you going? So with your one,
Yeah.
have your feet wider so you're stable. Yeah. And then like standing tall, chest out, elbow tucked in here, and then rotating out to my hand. This band might be a bit too heavy. Can you feel it at the back there?
Yeah.
See how if you do it slow, it's like way harder. Whereas if you just do this, like really quick, you don't get the same feeling. Going through. All right, so now you're doing the reverse, okay? Same thing, but you're facing and you're pulling it towards your belly, all right? Or your six pack, but you're pulling it this way, okay? Makes sense? This is the outwards one, but now you're gonna do it in a throwing motion. So I'll put a knee down, but you can stand up if you want. You're up here and you're coming up, okay? If you've got a heavy band, you need a light band for this one. So you're up here and you're keeping high. I'm not dropping, I'm staying high. So you're up here and down. Yeah, parallel to the shoulder, so that's why I kneeled. Otherwise you can do it up here. I prefer kneeling because then you don't arch your back, all right? Everyone give us a try. Yeah, come close. That's where you need multiple bands. So take a knee down, like when arms up here, and then rotate, take a step in. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is a rotator cuff exercise. This is external rotation. So you actually want to be here and then just rotate on that axis. Yeah, this is your best one. That's the same as this exercise. Clinic if someone, do you feel it through there? Yeah, it should be like burning almost, yeah. Whereas people do this stuff and they do the internal rotation, the pulling down. But if you that's what throwing is. So if you just keep doing that, then you get tight at the front, whereas this strengthens the back.
Front and back.
Yeah. Yeah. Too many of these or you'll get sore the first time you do it. So how'd you go? Show us?
Yep.
This is a hard band you got, but you're a strong guy. Yeah, that's it. So just rotate on my hand. Yeah, see how it's harder? Good. Now don't do too many of these because I don't want your coaches telling me you're sore before your next game. If you overdo it, all right? Everything's good in moderation, so. All right, come over, last one. All right, so you'll all be familiar with this. I'm gonna drop a knee. So you want it up at shoulder height, and then you're pulling down, okay? I don't want you doing this or that necessarily. I want you like when you're releasing a ball, and then you're pulling down slowly, and not letting it flick back, but controlling it the whole way. All right? Feel it through the front now. You can try the green one again. So same thing, but you're facing the other way. Yeah, it's like you're throwing. Yeah. Nice. Feel it through here?
Yeah.
Yeah. For it, but so your arms out here. Yeah, so space it out if you can. Yeah, there you go. But you're like rotating and then just coming straight down and up slowly. Yeah. Don't do too many, you can see heavy band.
You said this was a rotator cuff band. Do you have any others that we could do?
Yeah, so all the last four were.
Okay.
So this one, pulling to your tummy, pulling back. That one. They're all four of them. So I'd do all four equally. All right, all good here, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll grab that. Thank you. All right, no worries. So come back over. I'll show you one last thing. All right, everyone, come over in a bit of a semicircle here. First one is, so it's not just about your arm. These are, you can do a million stretches, but these two I think are really useful for throwing and for baseball in general. Is a hip flexor stretch. So dropping a knee, you guys do it. Yeah. So you got a knee down. You're stretching this one, all right? And then you're lunging into that, okay? And you feel it through here. If you don't feel it, step your foot forwards and hold the stretch, all right? Feel it through here. Hand up if you don't feel it. Don't feel it. Lean forwards into your left leg more. Yeah, it looks like you can all feel it. Yeah. All right, switch over. Other one. Yeah, it should feel good. Yeah. All right, lunge into it and hold it. You'd hold this for 30 seconds, all right? So you could all count it down. That's longer than you think. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. And then your last stretch I do. Has anyone ever done this? Thread the needle up there. Yeah. So just watch me for a moment. So I want your knees under like your hips, not narrow, not super wide. So knees under your hips. All right. And then you got one hand down, reaching through as far as you can, and then breathe out and reach to the ceiling. All right. Do 5 each side. Yeah. Yeah. So a little secret is breathing out when you come up. Let the air out. Yeah. Good. All right, switch over if you haven't already. All right, cool. Good stuff. So that should take you like 10 minutes if you just smash through it really quick. And that's a putty warmer, okay? All right, cool. No worries.
Do you have any idea?
Yeah, well, potentially your shoulder's not strong enough, so your pain goes down into your bicep. So I do those ones that we were doing,
Yeah.
and then you might notice that pain settles away. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
No worries.
Why does the outside of my elbow hurt more than my inside?
It can be either side. Like some people are different. So for you, is it worse when you throw or when you hit or
Yeah, when I fall.
throw? Yeah, I wouldn't get too caught up with it. But for you, what I'd be doing is making sure you're focusing on those like forearm exercises and the one with the bat. Yeah, I'll send the video across so you can watch those again and do them.
Cool,
All right? No worries.